Good evening. Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Oliveri. I'm the publisher for the Herald News and the Taunton Daily Gazette. I'd like to welcome you to the 2017 Best and Brightest Awards ceremony. This is truly one of our favorite events that we do all year. Each year we seek nominations from family members, coaches, teachers, employees, you name it, of outstanding young people from ages 16 to 21. And each year we receive nominations that just blow us away. Each year we tell our judges, don't worry, this process will be easy, but it's not easy separating great kids from even greater kids. I'd like to thank our Herald News and Taunton Daily Gazette staff who make this event possible. They spend endless hours on the back end of things, planning things. First and foremost, Lynn Sullivan, who's our managing editor for the Herald News and Taunton Daily Gazette. Will Richmond, who's hiding in the back, who's our city editor for the Herald News. Not hiding, he's working, I'm sorry. Linda Murphy, who's our lifestyles editor here in the front. And Dave Souza, our award-winning photographer here up front. I'd like to thank you guys for all your work in pulling this event together. I'd also like to recognize members of our local legislative delegation for their support on this program. State Rep Carol Fiola, State Rep Paul Schmid, State Rep Alan Sylvia, State Rep Shauna O'Connell, State Rep Keiko Oral, State Rep Stephen Howitt, and State Senator Mark Pacheco. They give us support every single year that we do this program. We'd like to thank them for that support, as well as providing us with citations for our winners. And of course, last but not least, I have to thank Bristol Community College, who's always been gracious in hosting us with this event and allowing us to use this spectacular venue each year. And thank you to the weather gods for providing us with a scenic view out the window today. I don't know if that would have happened in the last, 3 months, it feels like, right? I'd like to introduce Dr. John Sprague, President of BCC, to welcome our honored guests. Dr. Sprague, please come in.
Well, welcome everyone. It's our honor at BCC to host this important event. We always want to celebrate excellence, and this is a great example of it. I'm so pleased that of the 16 recipients, 4 have a connection with taking courses at BCC while they were also moving through toward their degree. So it kind of makes it a homemade feeling for us at BCC. But I do want to congratulate the Herald for taking on this project. It's a wonderful thing to celebrate excellence, and every time I give a speech in front of people who are excellent and outstanding, I always remind them that out there in the world, envy is a terrible sin that exists and plagues our society. And envy is people like, not like yourselves, but people who envy people like yourselves. And they tear down standards and they can't live up to them. And it's easier to try to tear them down and lower them. So I congratulate you for not lowering your standards and moving ahead with all great quality of your education. I know you want to thank the faculty and the staff that have helped you along the way. You're going on to bigger and better things. And the last thing I want to say is about, this is the age of lifelong learning. So even with a baccalaureate that you're going to get, you have to keep going. You have to keep going. And there are wonderful opportunities out there. I've read the amazing stories that appear in the Herald about you, and I am envious of your great, not only your achievements, but your future. I wish I had a future like yours. And so I wish you well. I'm getting out of the way. I'm sorry I have to run to Pittsfield of all places tonight. I'm sorry I can't stay, but I wanted to shake all of your hands, and I'll miss that opportunity. But I wanted to thank the Herald for putting this on. Anything you need at Bristol, anytime, please don't hesitate to contact us. Best of luck.
Dr. Sprague, before you leave, we'd like to present you with a special award in honor of your 17 years of service to the city of Fall River and this whole county, and your support over the past at least 10 years of this program. Thank you so much. Okay, now it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Christopher Carrero. He was a Best and Brightest winner in 2010. And look what I found in my closet at work. But I thought he would be a great one to speak to you guys because he's the chairman of the select board in Swansea. He's an attorney, and he does an awful lot for this community. So he's where you guys are going to be in 7 years, maybe.
I hate that picture of me. It's an old one, 7 years old. Good evening. It's genuinely an honor to have the opportunity to be here and to congratulate each and every one of you for being a recipient of the Fall River Herald News Best and Brightest for 2017. I'd like to thank the Herald News for giving me the opportunity to be here and participate in the ceremony and giving me the chance to talk about this award with you that the greater Fall River community is bestowing upon you tonight. Now, I'd like to start off by telling you a little bit about myself. However, I'm really not comfortable talking about myself, but I feel like if I tell you a little bit about me and what's happened in the past 7 years to me, maybe some of the advice I'm about to offer you is a little bit more meaningful. So, again, my name is Chris Carrero. I'm 28 years old. I was selected as a recipient of the Fall River Herald News Best and Brightest in 2010 when I was 21 years old, so I just made the cutoff. I graduated from BCC in 2010 with an Associates in Business Administration transfer program. I went to University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth, where I received a degree in finance. And then after that, I went to law school, Roger Williams University School of Law. And I obtained my Juris Doctorate, and I took the bar exam in 2 jurisdictions, Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and luckily I passed both of them. And then I did something that was a little unorthodox. I went into law practice by myself right off the bat. I don't really know many of my peers that did it, but at this point in my career, I'm a year and a half in, and I have a very successful law practice. I have a full-time secretary, and I'm having a great time with it. I just actually opened up another business. I have a real estate brokerage as well, and I have a real estate agent that works under me. So I think it's important that I just kind of preface my advice by telling you a little bit about my education and where I came from and what I'm doing right now. The most valuable experience to me, aside from my education, because that is exceptional, it's exceptionally important, it's critically important, and I would not be here today if it wasn't for my education. But it was my service to my community, the town of Swansea. I was elected to the Swansea School Committee in 2010, and I served for 5.5 years, and after that I was a selectman, and I won selectman in 2015, right before I became an attorney. And that experience, serving the community, has been unbelievable. Now I'm the chairman of the Board of Selectmen, and I have to say I was a little bit of a nerd. You know, I used to watch the Board of Selectmen meetings on television when I was like 10 or 11. Who does that, right? I did it, and now sitting on the board, aspiring to that, it's humbling, and I really encourage you all, if there's something like that you have in your life that you put on a pedestal and it's very important to you and you think it's the coolest thing, keep working towards it because you will achieve it. I achieved it, and now I'm looking for what's next, and you should have that same attitude, you know, always look for what's next. So each of you have made a big splash in this community. Your family and your friends, your teachers, your mentors, they've recognized your willingness to go above and beyond. You've stood out in the crowd. There was a lot of candidates for the Best and Brightest. I was actually a judge a couple of years ago. There is a huge stack of candidates for nomination for this award, and you really have to stick out, and you certainly have. I truly believe that each of you will be successful because you've already demonstrated exemplary work ethic and values. You've perfectly positioned yourself to do great things professionally and for your community. There were several comments made to me 7 or 8 years ago about my approach at life that I refused to accept as true, and good thing I didn't let those comments influenced me, because if I had listened to those comments, I certainly would not be where I am today speaking to you this evening. So here's a few things I've learned along the way. Don't let anyone tell you you're not ready. Stepping outside of your comfort zone helps you grow, makes you more resilient, and taking calculated, well thought out risks may help you get ahead. It did for me. Be confident with who you are, and be confident in your abilities to learn. Just because you're uncomfortable with something doesn't mean you can't learn. So if they can do it, I've always taken this approach, if they can do it, you can do it. I truly believe that. Don't let anyone tell you you don't have enough experience. I know this firsthand. I heard this all the time. You don't have enough experience. You're too young. Experience is invaluable, but it's certainly not essential. Sometimes a new perspective challenges the norms. Just because something has always been done this way does not mean it's the best way to get it done. Maybe we can do it better. And don't let anyone tell you that maybe you should wait. We all have had life experiences. Sometimes things get cut short too soon, but life is short to wait. If you have an inherent risk right now that you probably don't even realize, because I didn't realize it. It's your youth. If you wait, you may never have these opportunities again. So, in my opinion, the sooner, the better. If I had to pick one thing tonight, one thing for you to take away from anything that I've said this evening, it's this. Do things that do not necessarily provide you with monetary compensation, but give you a sense of fulfillment. And as a result, you'll learn new things and you'll foster new relationships that will serve you well, both professionally and personally. I attribute serving as a volunteer firefighter for the past 10 years to much of my success today. Now, what's the link there, right? Being a volunteer firefighter certainly didn't directly help me be an attorney or be the chairman of the Board of Selectmen, but I feel it was because of that experience in life, that community involvement, it helped me build relationships with people I wouldn't normally build relationships with. Town leaders, other firefighters, their families. In Swansea, we have the largest volunteer fire department in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We have 100 volunteer firefighters, not paid whatsoever in Swansea. But when I became part of that organization, not only was I a member of that department, but I felt like I was part of the family with 100 different people and 100 different families. And that type of community involvement, that volunteerism, I think propelled me to be where I am today. So I think it's important when I say do things that don't necessarily provide you monetary compensation, that I give you an example of that, because that is exactly what I'm talking about. But for being a volunteer firefighter, I may not be here today. So I really encourage you to find new ways to get involved and learn about your community from a different perspective, a perspective that maybe you haven't thought about before, or hasn't been recommended to you or suggested to you in the past, but something that would provide that same level of community involvement, but at the same time you're learning from a new perspective. So again, congratulations on being the best and brightest. The Greater Fall River area is proud of all of you. I look forward to reading about you and your future accomplishments in the Fall River Herald News. And if I can be of any assistance, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Please continue your hard work, be involved in your community, and remember, you're never too young to make a difference. Thank you.
And now for our awards. The trophies represent diamonds, and they're meant to represent the fact that each of you young people are a gem within this community. These 15 winners, 8 from the Fall River area and 7 from the Taunton area, truly stood out from the pack. Chris was right. It's not easy to pick. To give you an idea of just how amazing these young people are, each year I put together some statistics. Of these 15 best and brightest winners, almost all of them have jobs. 4 were team captains. All 15 do some sort of volunteer work. 2 are in student council, 7 made National Honor Society, a couple are valedictorians, and at least 1 salutatorian. But granted, we expect that kind of stuff, But this group had some unique qualifications. One spoke on genetics at a space conference in Washington, D.C. One worked as a teacher's aide. One finished his associate's degree in 1 year instead of 2. One is an Irish step dancer. One immigrated from Brazil at age 6. One was an all-state journalist. One taught for 3 weeks in Ghana. One took high honors in Spanish, French, and Chinese. One is a CCD teacher. As for the future, some of their planned careers include mechanical engineer, neurosurgeon, patent lawyer, medical researcher, special education teacher, and phlebotomist. And some are a little more far afield. One wants to dance on Broadway, one wants to find a cure for cancer, and one wants to join the Peace Corps. And I know every year that I say that this is an academic award, but I'm pretty sure that these young people don't even know what a B is. You see, these young people are truly incredible, and more importantly, they're from here. They were educated in our schools, and they have helped out in our community, and we should all be very proud of them. Truly, the future of this community is bright in the hands of our best and brightest, and I'm serious when I say this is one of the best parts of my job. First, finding all of you, and then telling the world about you. So here we go. You ready, Will? Gonna do it? Okay. Okay, we'll start with the Taunton winners. Those are in the first row. Okay. Alexandra Baker. Jenna Barlow. Carissa Cabral was unable to make it tonight. Stephen Harrison. No Stephen either, okay. Julie Mason. Noah Moniz. And Lily Raniker? Did I say that right? Okay, and on to the Fall River area winners. Mark Akuri. Dylan Barcelos. Ashton Began had to step out early. He's got another award ceremony to go to. Emily Canuel. Haley Chase. Isabella Connors, Catherine Eston, and Jonathan Klinker. Again, congratulations to everybody. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. Enjoy refreshments. Make sure that you get a copy of the section where you guys were all featured. We'll see you next year.